Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm Erica, and welcome to Slow Flow Yoga. We're going to have a focus on spinal mobility from root to crown today, and we're going to be working with the chakras or the subtle energy bodies. Thank you so much for being here, whether you're joining me live or watching this after the fact. I'm so excited to be with you all. I miss so much the sense of community that practicing yoga in a room live together brings. But I've also really enjoyed feeling that same sense of community together at home. So, good morning, Stacy. I have some friends joining me from all aspects of my life, so I'm really excited about that. Good morning, Katie. I have friends from college. I have friends from the advertising business. I have friends from the gym. I have fellow instructors joining today. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. I am trained in power yoga, and I like to flow, which is vinyasa style, and I like to sweat and have it be a little bit more of a cardio workout. However, today I felt like it was important, given our circumstances, to provide some relief for the low back and to bring some healing into our root chakra and our sacral chakra, and to talk a little bit about the subtle bodies of energy as well as work our physical bodies. So with that being said, I want to give just maybe 1 or 2 more minutes for people to join, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of background before we get started. You can have a bolster or a pillow. Good morning, Laura. Good, I'm glad you found me here. So I have a bolster, and I'm going to just use it in the beginning to sit on and at the end for final shavasana. It really does help protect the low back to have a little padding there. So if you want to go ahead and grab something, go ahead and do that now, maybe some water as well. But you don't need any other props besides that and a yoga mat. All right, so I'm going to scooch back here a little bit. Hopefully you can all see me okay and hear me okay. Good morning, Lita. All right. So talking about the root chakra, and you say it like chakra, that's the real way to say it, I learned. So that's the subtle bodies of energy, and the energy is called prana in yoga because it's Indian, but in Eastern, it's also called chi. Chinese and Tai Chi, or in Chinese culture. So working with the energy, and the energy points all are along the spine, starting with the root chakra, the sacral chakra, there's 8 of them, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. We're going to be really focused on the first couple chakras today, because the root chakra is the seat of survival. It is the base or root chakra, and it is really responsible for creating a stable, strong foundation. So if you have an imbalance in this area, you would probably have stiffness or soreness in the back, maybe even issues with the colon or the bladder. It's also connected to the knees, the feet, your basic foundation. The emotional body that's connected to this chakra is fear, anxiety, anger, our basic needs for survival, our fight or flight response. So when we look at the current circumstances that we're living in, and we can see that there's an imbalance in this chakra just because of the world we're living in right now, our basic needs are being threatened. So to bring some balance into healing can really help us not just to cope and survive, but to thrive. So we're going to be doing a lot of opening in this area. To begin, we're going to get seated. You can sit in Sukhasana or easy pose, crisscross applesauce, or you can sit on your heels. You can sit on a pillow, but definitely be comfortable here. Really root down through your sits bones, sit up nice and tall, lengthening the crown of the head, but relaxing the shoulders. Go ahead and bring your hands to your belly so you can feel your breath. Take a deep breath in, down deep and wide into the pelvic floor. On your exhale, feel how your belly contracts. Push the air out harder, maybe even an open mouth exhale. And as you exhale, draw up and in from the pelvic floor, squeezing those muscles. The pelvic floor is comprised of 16 muscles. So really scoop up and in from the pelvic floor as you exhale. Hold at the bottom of your exhale, then big breath in, down deep and wide. Exhale, slowly, smooth. And begin to squeeze up and in until you cannot exhale anymore. Hold, keep the contraction, then suck in air. Big breath in, feel your belly expand. Exhale, scoop it up and squeeze. So our pelvic floor is also made up of fast twitch and slow twitch muscles. We're working the slow twitch muscles here this way. One more breath in, down deep and wide. This last one that we do, we're gonna hold the contraction and we're gonna have a little bit more of a shallow breath. But at the bottom of our next exhale, we're going to pulse. It's not fast pulses. It's very difficult to contract these muscles, so don't worry about how fast you go, but hold at the bottom of your exhale and give me 10 pulses. So squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. On your own, out 5 more. It's a lot harder than it seems, right? Shallow breath, really contracting, pulling up and in from the perineum up to the navel. 2 more. And relax, big breath in, bring your hands to your knees and return to your natural breath. Drop your left arm down by your side. Drop your right ear to right shoulder, working the cervical spine now, which is also connected to the throat chakra. If you would like a little extra weight, gently rest your hand on your head. Don't force anything. This is a really gentle flow this morning. Some of you might be surprised. Who take my class regularly, I can do slow flows. All right, slowly release and come up. Bring your right arm down. Drop your left ear to left shoulder. Reach and gently press down. Stay here. I just realized I didn't start the music from the very beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to turn it up a little bit. All right, come back to center. Look to the right. Center, left. Center, right. Center, left. Center. Drop the chin down to the chest. Roll the chin all the way to the right. Look over the shoulder like you're trying to see behind you. Tuck the chin down, come through center, and roll over to the left. See if you can look over your left shoulder. Really try to stretch, see behind you. Drop the chin, roll to the other side. And one more time to the left. Come back down to center and lift the head straight. Working working on going backward and forward, go ahead and take 3 fingers and place them at the base of your neck. Let the chin guide your head up. You don't want to compress your fingers. All right, so your chin is going to lead up, but you're not going to crank your neck back. So go up as far as you can without cranking it, so it's comfortable, but you're getting a nice stretch through the throat chakra, and then look down. You can go ahead and remove your hands, look down, stretch through the back of the neck, and then inhale, look up, just as far as you found before. We're going to remember that too as we go through our entire practice, what this feels like to bring the neck up without crunching the cervical spine. One more time, look up, and bring your head straight. All right, we're going to move into child's pose, so go ahead and remove the bolster if you're sitting on one or a block. Bring your knees wide to the outer edges of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your hips down toward your heels. Extend your arms forward and bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. I'm going to lift my head so that you can hear me because I'm not wearing a microphone, but I want you to keep your forehead down on the mat. Begin to root down and notice what it feels like to be fully supported by the earth. Really surrender into that support. The gravity, the ground has got you. Begin to come into your breath and connect your breath to body, mind, spirit, energy. Rock your hips back and forth and really settle in a little bit deeper into your child's pose. Rock your forehead back and forth, massaging the third eye center. So massaging that third eye chakra. Take one big breath in and slowly shift your hips up over your knees. Bring your shoulders under your wrists for tabletop. We're going to work on articulated cat-cow first, meaning we're going to go one vertebra at a time. First, extending the tailbone back, so really tilting the pelvis back. The chest reaches forward, and then head lifts, but only as far as we felt just a moment ago. Then slowly begin to tuck the head, chin to chest, slowly rounding the back, tucking the tailbone under, stretching through the thoracic or mid-back spine, and slowly articulating the movements to extend and lengthen. Look up, exhale, round. Suck the navel in, squeeze the pelvic floor as you tuck your tailbone under. Slowly begin to find some fluidity now. Round and lengthen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. One more here. Come to a flat back. Working cat-cow in the mid-back. Sink your hips down toward your heels. Stretch your arms forward like we're in child's pose, but our knees are parallel. So, because we were in tabletop. Stretching here back a little bit. Now bring your hips up just a little bit higher. So we're just going to focus on cat-cow in the upper back, the thoracic spine. Lengthen, chin guides your head up, eyesight comes up, don't crank your neck. Exhale, round, just through the mid-back. Really push up, puff up the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Find a flow that's organic with your own breath. One more here. Good. Now, bring your forearms all the way down to the mat. Interlace your fingers. Create a nice, strong base where the back of your head is going to go. Bring your forehead all the way down to the floor. Shift your hips over knees and bring your hands to the back of your head. Create a nice support for your head. Press your elbows into the mat. Now, rock the pelvis back and tuck it under. Really just focusing on the lumbar spine here. Subtle movements, but you notice you really need to scoop up the pelvic floor as you draw it in. These pelvic floor muscles are working pretty hard here when we squeeze in and tuck under. Big breath, open. Feel the sits bones spreading apart and coming back together. Really notice these subtle movements in your body. Beautiful. Slowly begin to lift the head. Come back into tabletop. Big hip circles. Starting to the side, down and around. Really big movements here. You can go slow, you can go fast, you can hang out on one side if you need it. This is all about you and all about your own body and your own self-care. So enjoy this moment, take this moment and make it yours, your moving meditation. Switch direction, drop your hips to the other side, down and around. And come back to a flat tabletop. Now let's not be afraid of lateral flexion and rotation too. So like maybe sway just back and forth a little bit. Maybe body rolls here. More in the thoracic spine, the mid-back. See if you can switch direction. My body feels much easier rotating in one direction than the other. So just notice that. No judgment, just noticing the body. And then figure eights. So just experiment here with different movements. I'm going to try to do figure eight the other direction. It's fun to play a little bit with the spine, loosen it up before our practice. All right. Go ahead and tuck the toes under, come into plank, shoulders over wrists. Keep that navel engaged. Take a deep breath in, and using your core, shift your hips to down dog. Inhale, wave your body back to plank, one vertebra at a time. If you come too far forward, you might have to adjust because the length of your plank is supposed to be the length of your down dog. So it's a good way to gauge your down dog. Take a deep breath in. Core pushes the hips back to down dog. Again, wave the body up and forward. Hold for breath here. Exhale, takes you back to down dog. Go ahead and bend the knees and pedal out the feet. Waking up the hamstrings very gently. If you want to hang out again on one side or the other, you can. I like to flow and have more movement in my practice. Now bend the knees and really lengthen the spine. Shoulder blades melt down the back. Sacrum reaches up to the sky. Press your hands into the earth. Take a deep breath in. Straighten the legs. Exhale, melt your heels down. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale, look up to your hands and slowly walk your feet up to your hands to meet in ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows, bring your feet wide, bend your knees. So you really want to allow a low back release here. So no cranking the neck. You don't need to see me right now. Shake your head, no. Nod yes. Find stillness, whatever feels good here. The deeper you bend your knees, the deeper release your back feels. Bring the weight forward too, into the front of the feet. And you can sway side to side. You can even take your elbow to the left. Stretch to the side, come through center, twist to the other side. Release your fingertips to the mat. Scoot back a little bit here. Bring your feet hip width distance underneath you, setting up for gorilla, one of my favorite poses ever. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. Come into a little bit of a halfway lift. So your legs are straight and your arms are straight. You're still gazing forward, down and forward. The neck is nice and long here. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, and tuck your head under, fold. Inhale, lengthen, straighten. Exhale, bend and fold. Two more, inhale. Bend, exhale. One more here. And bend. Release the fingers. Straighten the legs. Bring your hands to your shins. Halfway lift. Nice flat back. A halfway lift. You'll feel a straight line from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Bring your hands to your hips. Engage your core, and with a flat back, come slowly all the way up to standing. Bring your hands down to your sides, standing at attention, samastitihi. Root down through all four corners of the feet. Engage the quads. Engage the core. Grow the crown of your head toward the sky as you root down through the legs. We root to rise. We need a stable foundation for everything else that we do. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Working on Sun A, bring your big toes together to touch with a sliver of space between the heels. Inhale, lift the arms high. Look up, reach up, interlace your fingers except for the pointer fingers. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend to the left. Keep that right shoulder drawing back. Keep equal distance between your head and your hands if you can. Root down through that right foot. Take a deep breath in and see if you can bend just a little bit deeper into it. Inhale, come up to center. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and bend to the other side. Draw that left shoulder back, root down through the left foot. One more breath here. See if you can bend a little bit deeper. Inhale, come all the way up. Cactus the arms, expand the chest. Baby back bend, just through the mid-back, opening the chest. Inhale, arms high. Now bring your hands through heart center and flat back, fold forward all the way down to the mat. Plant your hands and step back to plank. Bend your elbows, tricep push-up, but come all the way down to the ground, slowly and with control. Untuck your toes, lift up and out of your hip, stretch your leg and set it down. Same on the other side, lift up and out of your hip joint, set it down. Press your tops of the feet into the mat. Engage your legs. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Hands just hover the mat here for low cobra. Inhale here. Exhale, peel your chest up. Push your feet into the floor. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Tuck your toes under. Big breath in. Exhale to plank. Big breath in here. Use your core to push back to down dog. Good. Reconnect to your breath here. If you need to pedal out your legs, pedal them out. Otherwise, find a neutral down dog. Really melt the shoulder blades down the back. Relax the head. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, sweep it through to a low lunge and set it down. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, rise up. Warrior two, root to rise. Fierce warrior pose is such a great grounding posture. Look out over the front middle finger. Find your determination. Suck the navel up and in. Press into the blade edge of the back foot as you lunge deeper into the front leg. Relax your shoulders and find your focus and determination. Exhale, elbow to knee, extended side angle. Left arm reaches up and over. Relax the shoulder. We don't want the shoulder by our ears, so just relax the shoulder, but nice side body stretch all through that left side of the body. Be mindful not to bear too much weight on the elbow. You should still be able to pick it up. So keep that rib cage lifted. This is just meant to be a little bit of a support for you. Back arm comes down, front arm reaches out and scoops up. Front body stretch. The back hand can slide down the leg, or you can wrap it around your waist, but keep your legs in warrior two, so your knee is still bent and lunging forward, even as we're reaching back. So lift up straight and reach back. A little bit of a flow. Lift up out of the rib cage and back. Now lift up and out of it, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, step back to plank. Now, if you have any low back issues, you're gonna stick to cobra. Otherwise, we're going to bend now, tricep push-up halfway. So half push-up. Tops of the feet come down to the mat, press into the palms of the hands, push the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Gaze up. Use your core to push your hips back, turn your toes under, come back to down dog. Reconnect to your breath here. Inhale, your left leg high. Exhale, sweep it through to a low lunge, set it down. Spin the back heel down, rise up. Root to rise. Warrior two. I always in class say get the legs first because that's your foundation. So if you need a moment to feel the opening in the hips, to find some fluid movement, go for it. We can't just all land and stick a pose right the first time we come into it. All right, so be gentle with your body and slowly find that place where you really land and feel rooted and grounded. Suck up and in through the pelvic floor And then push your edge just a little bit more. Deep breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee, extended side angle. Reach up and over. Nice side body stretch. This series of Sun B builds a lot of heat throughout the body, which we need for the deep opening that we're going to be getting into next. Back hand comes down, reverse warrior. Inhale, scoop up, reach back. Go ahead and wrap that hand around the waist if you'd like, and find that little vinyasa, lifting up and out of the rib cage, and reaching back as you lunge forward. Inhale, come up out of it, cartwheel the hands back down to the mat, and take your flow. Half push up, or come down all the way, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Go ahead and drop to your knees, spread them wide, a little child's pose here. Reconnect to the earth, surrender into the floor, and know that you're safe and supported. Slowly come back into tabletop, working on some core. Core is so important when we're talking about spinal mobility and health, as you know, most of you know, because it supports the back, the front side and the back side, right? So people that have any kind of low back issues or back issues can be really difficult to do core work on the back. So we're going to be doing a lot of core work today, but not on our backs. All right, starting with bird dog. Slowly extend opposite leg and opposite arm. Shoulders should be directly under the wrist. Open up to the side. Come back to center. Elbow to knee. Squeeze it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, set it down. Opposite arm and leg. Change it up. Exhale, out to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, elbow to knee. Keep your hips very stable here and set it down. I often go a lot faster, but that doesn't necessarily build strength and mobility because my hips are all over the place. So it's really important to keep the elbow to knee, keep the core engaged, and keep the hips as stable as you can, which is difficult to do while talking, but I'm doing my best. All right, just do your best and forget the rest. Come back to center, elbow to knee. Reach slowly and set it down. Other side. Last set here. Open up to the side. Come back to center. Elbow to knee. Reach and set it down. Now we're going to keep our arm out here. Extend the opposite leg. And just tap the floor and lift. Working into those glutes, which also support the hips and low back and pelvic floor. All of these things are connected to your root chakra. So the more you strengthen these muscles in your physical body, the more you strengthen your spiritual and energetic body too, bringing more peace and calm. Now hold it at the top, cross over to the right, lift, elbow to knee. Reach, tap across, lift, elbow to knee. Reach, tap, elbow to knee. Give me 2 more. Keep that navel pulled up and in. No pain in the low back here. Last one. Ooh, I'm shaking already. And set it down. Whew. Take a moment for a couple cat-cows in between. I feel like we're always rushing to move on to the next side without giving our body a moment to integrate what we've just done. So that's what we're doing today. We're taking that time to give more love and healing in between. All right. Extend opposite leg and arm. Engage that core. Pull it up and in. You should have a nice straight spine. Extend your opposite hand out. Tuck down and lift. Squeeze the glutes. The neck is nice and long here. Don't tuck the chin. Keep the chin off the chest. You can go as fast or as slow as you want here. Give me 2 more. Hold it up. Tap across at a diagonal. Lift, elbow to knee. Reach, tap, center, elbow to knee. Stay with your breath. Always exhale when you bring elbow to knee. Two more. One more for good measure. All right, elbow to knee. Reach and set it down. Ooh, let's alleviate the wrist a little bit. Inhale, right arm high. Roll out that wrist. Oh, feels so good. Now sweep it underneath the left. Bring your shoulder and ear down to the ground. Thread the needle. Whew. You can walk that front arm forward or set it wherever is comfortable. Breathe into your shoulder blade. Big deep breaths into the mid-back. Bringing in nourishing energy on every inhale. Letting go of anything that's not serving you on the exhale. One more breath here. Bring your hand underneath your shoulder. Push into the floor. Lift and reach. Nice stretch. And switch sides. Inhale your left arm high. Roll the wrist. And the other direction. Sweep it underneath the right. Bring your shoulder and ear all the way down. And slowly walk that front hand forward. Really breathe into that shoulder blade. Let your breath deepen the stretch. Slowly bring your hand back underneath your shoulder. Push into the floor. Reach. One last big stretch. And set it down. All right. Come back into down dog. Reconnect to your down dog. Maybe bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Then straighten the legs and melt the heels down. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, sweep it through to a low lunge and set it down. Bring your back knee all the way down and come up to standing on your knee. Keep the back toes tucked under. Take your hands to your hips, tuck the pelvis under. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Left arm reaches up and over. Nice hip stretch. Really feel the opening from the hip. And just breathe. Slowly release. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Bring your thumbs in toward your chest, stack your elbows in one straight line. Reach the crown of your head forward on the inhale, and on the exhale, suck in the navel to create space and twist deeper from the mid-back, from the thoracic spine. Pressing thumbs into chest. Every breath in elongates. Every breath out deepens the twist. One more breath here. And slowly release. You can untuck the back toes. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, step a little bit farther out and come into Anjaneyasana. Low crescent lunge here. Take a deep breath in. Cactus the arms. Baby back bend just in the thoracic spine, just the mid-back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your knee. Push into it. This releases. So our legs are associated with the fight or flight response. Our legs are naturally wanting to resist this stretch. So we stay here and breathe until our legs relax and they understand that they don't need to be in a state of fight or flight right now. They can surrender into the earth. You can trust that the earth is there to support you. You can trust that you're safe right now. Just breathe into it. It's okay if your knee comes over your toes in this position. Slowly shift the hips back. Relax the foot. You can lift it up a little bit, coming into a hamstring stretch, folding forward, bringing the hands to the opposite sides of the leg. You can find a little bit of a gentle movement, waving up and down. Or you can just enjoy the stillness and have a static stretch. Just depends what you need for your body, what feels good for you. Good. Now shift your hips forward. Bring your hands to the inside of your right leg. Toe heel your foot away, coming into lizard lunge. You can come onto the blade edge of that foot and slowly begin to come down to your forearms. If that's too intense, stay up here. Maybe the intensity releases as you breathe and you can slowly, over time, make your way down lower. So just listen to your body here with what it needs. Shadow and light. I've been really focused on the duality of life lately. Shadow and light. This is difficult times, but it's possible to have opposing forces felt at the same time. You can be sad and happy. You can have grief and still feel enormous love. It's all a part of us and what makes us whole. Inhale, come back up onto palms of your hands and shift your hips back. Toe heel your foot back in front of you. Oh, where's it going? Oh yeah, sorry. All right, step out to the side. So we're just gonna have our left foot is directly straight behind our knee. Our right leg is out to the side straight. Sink your hips back and rock forward. You can also stay with the hips back and wave up and down. So feel it out if you want to just stay here or if you want to keep rocking back and forth, what feels good. And slowly bring that right leg to meet the left parallel in tabletop. I'm gonna turn over. You guys can go ahead and tuck your toes under, come into down dog. Lift the left leg high, step it through to a low lunge, set the back knee down, come up to standing on your knee. Keep those back toes tucked under. Take your hands to your hips, tuck the pelvis under. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left knee. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over. Reaching up out of the hip. Pressing against the knee for leverage. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Again, taking a moment to stack the elbows in a vertical line and sucking the navel in as much as possible to create space for your twist. Lengthening the crown of the head on the inhale. Twisting deeper, really suck that belly up and in from the pelvic floor as you twist deeper into the mid-back. It's a good one, huh? A lot of the times in my power yoga classes, we're here. And I feel like that's great for building strength and stability in the butt and the lower legs, but sometimes we're not able to twist as deeply into the spine. So it's nice to do this variation. Slowly untwist, come back to center. Untuck the back toes. Oops. Coming into a low lunge here. Inhale, arms high. Sink into your hips, your psoas, your quads. Again, giving your quads a moment to realize that they don't need to run, that they can just surrender and relax. Bend the elbows, cactus the arms, expand the chest. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands come to knee. Work it a little bit deeper. Slowly shift your hips back. Come onto that heel. Relax the foot. And with a flat back, fold over your leg. It's okay if your knee is bent. I'd rather you have a straight spine than rounding. We don't want to be here just to get a straight leg, okay? So if your knee is bent and you're here and you're getting a good hamstring stretch, perfect. We're really focused on maintaining the integrity of the spine here. Okay, so as you increase in flexibility and mobility, you'll be able to straighten your leg. But yoga is not about how flexible you are. And there's that misnomer that you can't do yoga unless you're flexible, but how do we build flexibility if we don't stretch, right? And it's also about connecting that breath to body, to mind, to spirit. So it's more about going inward and cultivating that body awareness. And that's what I love so much about yoga. All right, rock your hips forward. Bring your hands to the inside of your left leg. Toe heel your foot away. And come into that lizard lunge on this side. Again, not forcing your body right into it if it's not natural, or if it is, coming right into sleeping lizard. So whatever feels good for you, take your time, ease into it. We hold so much emotion. Let's get back a little bit here. So much emotion in our hips. That's where fear and anxiety reside. So I want you to really focus on every inhale, bringing fresh, abundance, life force, fresh life force into those areas. And on every exhale, really release those negative emotions that aren't serving you right now. Okay, inhale, strength. Exhale, negativity. Just be with your body here. Slowly begin to come back up onto the palms of your hands. Bring your hands under your shoulders and step your foot out to the side. So I don't know, the comments are kind of covering here, but my foot is flat on the ground, okay? Flat on the ground. My right leg, my knee, and my foot are in one straight line, okay? Okay, lean forward and back. Hold and wave up and down. And bring your left leg to meet the right. Now I'm going to turn around to face front. Bring your feet to the ground, toes out, heels in. We're going to work our way into Malasana. So just shifting the hips side to side, rocking the hips. It's a pretty intense inner thigh stretch here, but it's also great for strengthening the pelvic floor. All right, find where you can sit between your heels, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Bring your hands to your chest. Really press into the knees here, nice straight spine. Now we're going to do the exercise that we did in the beginning, breathing exercises here, which is going to be a lot harder because we're in a very open position, but it's going to help strengthen those pelvic floor muscles. So breathe down deep and wide into your pelvic floor, and on your exhale, squeeze up and in. Really draw your belly in. Hold at the base of your exhale, then allow your belly to fill up with air again all the way down to your pelvis. Exhale, squeeze it up and in. If you've had children, this is such a great way to strengthen your pelvic floor. And again, it's totally normal to have any kind of issues or weakness in your pelvic floor, and it's fixable. I promise you. So if anyone watching here has any kind of imbalance in your pelvic floor, there are experts out there and exercises out there that can help with that. I studied and am certified in postnatal yoga, and we do a lot of these types of exercises in my classes to strengthen the pelvic floor because it's so important as we age, for men and for women. All right, slowly bring your hands back down to the floor. Bring your knees back down into tabletop. And go ahead and swing your feet down and around in front of you. I'm going to turn to the side here. Remove the flesh away from your sits bones. Point your toes back toward your face. Bring your hands down to the floor. Now, this is called staff pose, and it alleviates pressure in the tailbone and low back. Take a deep breath in. Engage the legs, really press the legs into the floor, press the palms of the hands into the floor until you lift your sacrum up off the floor. Now scoop your sacrum up to your belly button, like you're trying to scoop them in. I'm going to try to keep my neck straight, but really squeezing up and in, push into the floor. As you can see, I'm shaking a little bit here. Activate through the feet. The tailbone is lifted off the floor. I'm sucking up and in here. And slowly release. Ooh, that feels so good. All right. Inhale, lift up the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Grab the outsides of the feet Again, if your knees are bent here, it's totally fine. Just keep a straight spine. Stay here in this forward fold. I'm just checking in. All right, let's see what time it is here. I'm sorry I'm running a little over, but I'm just gonna keep going because I would really like to finish getting the outer hips really quick before we end today. So I hope that's okay that I'm going over. All right, so from forward fold here, we're going to bend the knees, plant the feet. Take your left, point your hand, fingers back, and cross your left. You're welcome, Nancy. Bring your left ankle over your right knee. And you can scoot your bottom closer to your heels. You can scoot your hands closer to your body until you get just the right stretch for you in the outside hip. Now, allow the right leg to fall to the ground. The calf comes to the ground, and the knee crosses over the ankle, and the ankle crosses over the knee. So we're in cow face pose. If this is too intense for you, you can just come into easy pose. Take crisscross applesauce. So take a nice deep breath and lengthen. Exhale, slowly begin to walk the hands forward, hinge at the hips, and fold. Stay here for 3 breaths. All right. Lift up that left leg and cradle it. So you're going to bring the knee up into your armpit. And if you can, reach around and bring your foot into the eye of your right elbow. Otherwise, just grab around where you can. Rock the hip and rock the leg. And really care for yourself in this moment and cradle yourself as if you would a baby. You know, give yourself the same love and tenderness and care that you give to the ones that you love. Bring that energy inward. Release the leg to the outside of your right leg. Now, if this is too intense for you, or your hip comes up too much, you can always straighten that right leg. Otherwise, you can keep it bent. Take your right arm, reach around the left leg, bring the left arm behind you, lengthen the crown of the head, suck the belly in to twist deeper, looking over your left shoulder. And slowly unwind. Setting up for seated pigeon on the other side. Bring your right knee, crossing it over the left. Fingers point back behind. Scoot the heel in closer to you. Scoot yourself in as close as you need to feel that nice stretch. If you have any kind of knee issues and this is too intense for you, you can walk a little bit farther away to decrease intensity. Walk closer in to increase intensity. But this is typically a lot more accessible for people than traditional pigeon pose. Now bring the side of your left leg down, crossing the knee over the ankle and the ankle over the knee. Again, if this is too intense for you, come into easy pose, but put the opposite leg in front. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hinge, and walk the hands out. Cow face pose is one of my favorite poses because it really helps. If you've been doing any and all of the workouts that Cascade has been posting, then this should feel amazing, this flow, because I was super sore and I'm feeling so much better just having practiced this and doing this together with you. I feel better already. All right, walk the hands back, come back up, grab that right leg and cradle it. So bringing the knee into the armpit, and again, you can just reach around like this. It doesn't matter. You can also, if you can, bring the foot into the eye of the elbow and rock and really bring that love inward. Open that hip. Create some space for creativity, to manifest anything that you want to do to be productive in this time period, to create space for a healthier tomorrow. It starts with you. So what can you do to bring some balance into your own life? And slowly begin to, bring the right foot to the outside of the left leg. Again, you can either keep the legs bent here or you can straighten the left leg. Reach your left arm around, grab hold of the right, drop the fingers behind, look over your right shoulder. Oh, feels so good. And slowly unwind. Bring the feet out in front of you. Come to the middle of your mat. Before we actually come onto our backs, grab that bolster and just bring it close by so that when we get to the point where we need it, we don't need to come out of our relaxed state. So have it close by. All right, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time, coming down onto the back. Bring the knees into the chest and little hip circles. Release the low back. I'm going to scoot down a little bit here. Releasing the low back. Circle the other way. Such a nice massage if you want to rock back and forth, if that feels good. Just do whatever movement you need at this moment. Bend the knees. Reach for the outsides of your feet for happy baby pose. Really press into the arches of the feet so that you can rock back and forth. This is great massage on the SI joint. Also really great for the root chakra. Push down both arches and bring your knees back together. Open up your arms and allow your knees to fall to the side. Make sure that you're stacking your hips. Your hips are really stacked up on top of each other, and look away from your knees. Breathing here, feeling that nice stretch. Spinal stretch in the low back, the base of the spine. Slowly come back through center and allow your knees to fall to the other side. Look away from your knees. Inhale, come back to center. Extend your feet up to the sky. Bring your hands down to your sides. Rock your hips back and put your hands on your sacrum. Shoulders stand. Shoulders are relaxed. Neck is relaxed. Elbows come in a little bit for support. The hands are supporting the low back. You can roll out your feet here if you like. Point and flex. Or just enjoy stillness here and feel the flow of blood coming down from your feet. Moving into deaf man's pose. Bend the knees, drop them by your ears. You can stay here or straighten the legs behind you, bringing your toes to touch the floor. I'm going to move forward a little bit so you can see a little bit better here. Plow pose. Bringing the feet toward the floor. Make sure you're not cranking your neck. Your gaze is up. Now bring your hands, palms back down to the earth, and slowly, one vertebra at a time, come down. So you're compressing the spine with every single movement, all the way down to the base of your spine, and then slowly bending the knees. Relax the arms by your side. Grab that pillow if you need one to put under you. Let's scoot back a little bit. Bring one foot down at a time. Extend the arms and legs long. Maybe work your shoulder blades together just a little bit to lift the chest and come into your final Shavasana. I will guide you out of Shavasana, so just enjoy this moment of complete surrender into the earth. And know that you're safe, that you're supported, and that you have the ability to not only survive, but to thrive. Slowly begin to bring awareness back into the fingers and toes. Stretch your arms overhead. If you have a bolster underneath, you can bend your knees and remove it. Slowly make your way onto your side. And use your arm as a pillow for your head. Bring your knees in toward your chest in a supported fetal position. And place your other hand on the ground. And just repeat these affirmations in your own mind or out loud as you wish. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. I am authentically creating a life free of stress and full of bliss. I am one with myself and one with the divine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, push into the floor and use it as leverage to lift yourself back up into a seated position. Easy pose. Bring your hands to heart center. The teacher and the light in me honors the teacher and the light in all of you. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me. Let's bring our thumbs to third eye center, sealing our practice together. Bowing forward. Namaste. And bring your hands back down to your heart. You're done. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a beautiful, yummy practice. I hope that you feel better in your body. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that you all enjoyed this. Thank you, Katie. Nancy, thank you. We have so much wonderful content all day, all week for you. Something for everybody, the whole family, young to old. Some really great tips for eating. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, I'm so glad that you thought it was beautiful. I had like 3 more pages of stuff I didn't even get to, so hopefully I'll be invited back. but you can always find me. Thank you, Laura. You can always find me at the gym for yoga on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Again, my name is Erica. You can also find me at Empress Yoga, and yeah, stay tuned for, thank you, Carol. Oh, great class. Thank you so much. And yeah, so if you like this class, I hope to see you in person, and I hope that you stay tuned for all the awesome content to follow. All right, thanks, Susan. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was really wonderful to be with all of you this morning. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks, Aurora. Oh, you did the class. Thank you. Gracias. Muchísimas gracias, Aurora. Bye.